Hey, hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to my YouTube channel on Confluence. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about how do we use tables and how do we apply filters in Confluence, right? And then how we can summarize those data present in tabular form and analyze what is present within it using pivot tables, then creating charts out of tables, right? So these words seems to be quite familiar to you, like if you have worked on Excel, because Excel has that ability, like it's a great tool where you can do all these kinds of analysis. You can create charts out of table, and also you can apply filters, right? So the good part over here in Confluence is we can do the same thing in Confluence as well, right? So let's discuss how we can do it, and it's really a cool, I would say, a cool macro altogether to work with. All right. So the requirement statement that we have created, I would suggest for this video purposes, that the individual should be able to filter data present in a table, and they should be able to summarize, creating meaningful results out of it, right? For data, for analyzing, I would say for analyzing the data, right? And also the individual, the user should be able to create different charts, right? Interpretation of the data in a pictorial form, right? So how we can do it, how we can achieve it, right? So this is an example that we have taken. So Jasmine is the project manager, and maybe Jasmine or anyone. The three examples, I would say it is very much in line to the other examples that we have taken, right? So the project managers, I would say Jasmine, Donald, or Kerry, they work on different projects, right? So, and they have different requirement altogether, right? So, for example, so what I would say the problem statement over here is the project managers should be able to filter data which is in a tabular form. For example, they have a huge data, not that huge, like that you, I would say 10,000 in rows, something like that. But if a project manager has maybe 100 or 200 lines of data, right? So rather than navigating at the like through the entire rows, they want a filter to be applied on top so that they can just filter out the data whatever they want to, right? And similarly, there's a requirement that the project manager, with the data present with them, they should be able to create a Gantt chart, right, which shows the progress of their particular milestone. They should be able to, I would say, create pie charts, right, out of the data present over there. So how can we do it? This is quite easy in Excel, as we already know, as we have would have worked on it, maybe, right? But the same thing can be achieved in Confluence, and it's a very easy, I would say, to achieve it, right? So let's, rather than discussing more about it, let's get started and see in the demo how we can do it, right? Let's get back to our, yeah, great. So what I've done over here is for all the three projects, for example, we have project XYZ, which is taken care by, if you just see, Jasmine is running project XYZ, and she has some data in form of asset type, which shows, okay, we have some savings, stocks, house, bonds, car, and the amount associated with it. So what we want to do is we need to show the distribution of this amount, maybe in a pie chart, right? So we need to create a pie chart out of this table, right? So that's one requirement. And the next one is we have this huge data present over here. See, there are a lot of many rows, right? So what we need to do is we need to apply a filter so that any individual who come over here, rather than navigating through all of these lines, they can apply a filter. In addition to that, we want to summarize this particular data based on ocean proximity, right? So let's not get into what is present in the data, just try to understand, okay, what, so we have something called as population, which has a count of population, and then we have ocean proximity, right? How close is this particular, I would say, location from ocean, right? So we want to see um, the count of population, the total population in this particular ocean proximity category, right? So that's what we will be achieving. So we will be using pivot for that, pivot table for that. And the next one is this migration project progress. We have some milestones, we have start and end date, and we have percentage completion. And we want to draw uh, Gantt chart over here. Right, so let's go step by step and see how we can achieve it. Right, so let's get into this first. Okay, so we want to apply filter. So the first thing, and this is project CDE, taken care by Kerry. And let's edit this page first. And the first thing is, let's insert the macro that we are going to use. Okay, and the macro over here is filter, table filter. Okay, let's insert the macro, and then let's cut this table and move it within this macro. So now we have applied a table filter. Cool. Quite easy step, right? So we can apply filters maybe once you apply this table filter. So you can edit the filter after getting into this edit page, or else what you can do is, once you have added this table filter, just publish the page. And okay, now you can add your filters over here as well. So let me add some filters. I want to add a filter, and there are different kinds. So you can add a drop down. Maybe I say, okay, I want to drop down on ocean proximity, and I say add filter, and I just save the changes what I've done. So if you look at this, isn't this great? It automatically filters the data, and you can apply multiple. And similarly, add a filter. You can add multiple filters over here, and you want a global filter to be added. This is an interesting one. So that means if you type something over here, maybe 1283, and okay, so it searches the whole table wherever they find 1283 is present over here. Similarly 194, okay, wherever they find the presence of this 194, something related to it. Okay, so that's powerful this filter is. And we can again save it, or we can remove it, and we can just add free text filters as well. We can add date filters too. Okay, in this particular format we don't have any data, but you can use that. And next is, you can hide if any columns are there's any columns that you want to hide. You can just add a hide column, and if you select maybe households, you see, you can hide the columns too from without even getting into the edit mode. You just need to add the filter once, and then you can do all of these functionalities. Isn't it pretty good? And then you can remove it. Okay, so, and we can just save this now. Great. And okay, so for example, you have huge data, right? And you applied filter. So okay, so now what we are going to do is, we want to summarize. If we talk about, we have this whole table with a lot of information, but we want to summarize this information to understand, based on this ocean proximity, the location house ocean proximity, what is the population count, right? So we want to summarize this data. What we can do is, we can use a macro called as pivot. And let's insert this macro. Great. And so you can move this table within this and do apply the pivot, even that is possible. Okay, let's do that way. Or else what you can do is, you can just copy this data and put it under this, right? So you can do it any way. So let me do it this way. So we have this data. We have moved it under pivot table, And let's publish this page now. Okay, it's loading. Great. So you see something. This is, yeah, I would say it has summarized a few data. So what we want to achieve is, so these are the control panel for us. Row, we want to see ocean proximity. Great. And calculated column is something, what are we trying to calculate? On which column are we trying to do the calculation? So the calculation was, we want to find the population count. So I've applied a population count. And so what I need to do, do I need to do a count, or I need to do a sum? So I have population, so it would be a sum. So we have other calculations as well, operations that we can perform over here, min, max, average. Right, so what it is doing is ocean proximity. It is doing a sum of the population present in this particular category, right? And we can save these changes. Nice. So now you might be saying, okay, this is fine, but we want to see the complete data as well. So for that, what we can do is we go edit, and let's edit this particular macro. And when we edit mode, the same thing that we have done, we can see over here we have something in options. Okay, so decimal places, so you can restrict the number of decimal places over here. And also if you have something in date format, you can change the date format if you want it to be into month form or year, or the how you want the aggregation to be done. You can do all those things. And then show the source table, and we can hide these control panels as well. Okay, so the control panel, these are the control panels that you see in the main screen. If you click on this in the main screen, you won't be seeing this anymore. That means if you do not want anyone to edit coming to the screen, right, so you can just hide this, and they can just come over here and see, okay, wow, that's a representation, that's great. Okay, so let's save it and publish the page, and let's see what we have now. Okay, it's loading. Wow, great. So this is our data, and this is the summarized, I would say, information that we were looking at based on ocean proximity. This is the population. Great. So this is, so what we have covered filter, and then we have covered the pivot table part of it. So let's see how we can create a pie chart, right? So again, we see this data, we click on edit, and similarly you can create bar charts, stacked bar charts, right? All those things, even those can be achieved. Same steps that we'll be doing here, right? Okay, so insert, and then you have something called as chart from table. We insert, okay, let's click on insert, and cut this table and bring it within inside this macro. Great, so let's publish and see what we got now. So it automatically creates this wonderful uh, pie chart, right? And labels are asset type, very good. And values column is amount, that's great. And it's in percentage, right? So now if you want to increase the size of it, we can just increase it from here. Maybe from width, if you want 500, maybe we want 900. Height we want 350, maybe 700. Okay, we save it. And if you want to see this in a 3D format, we can select, okay, that's the 3D form of it. And okay, and next you see the type. So here we have the different types, and the different types of I would say craft that you want to create. You can create this column one, you see this, then just like bar, tag bar, like all these beautiful things that you can do directly from this control panel itself, right? So now we want to see more what else to this macro has, because that's just a control panel that we have seen. But if we edit this particular chart and you come over here, so the placement, you can place it on the left hand side, right on its center. Let's move it to left. You can change the colors, whatever color you want for different I would say different criterias that we have over there. And then if you want it, you can hide the source table, the information from where the chart is being created. And if you want, you can hide the chart control. You can add the chart title, if maybe the title is asset allocation, we can add that. And next is show, okay, asset allocation. Next is show data labels. So what do we want to see? Do we want to see just the values? You see, this is the values. And if you want to see the percentage, okay, it's converted into percentage. And then you have value percentage and percentage value. Okay, so we want to see in the percentage form, and the callout is label. That's fine. Adjustments, okay, this is pretty cool. Height, color we discover. Okay, this is again the same thing that we see in the control panel. So what we have done so far is we have aligned the chart towards the left hand side, and then we have added the chart title, and we are hiding the chart controls, and we want to see the source table. Let's save it and let's publish the page. Let's see what happens now. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have this data, and this is our chart. Do you see the chart, the control panel, right? The chart controls has gone. It's hidden now. Now I don't see it, so I need to see the data. You see, as soon as I click on this, it automatically filters the data over here. What do you want to see? Isn't that pretty cool? This is, I would say, this is quite good. What we see to create different charts from the data. Amazing, right? So let me again bring back my chart controls back, and okay, so here we go, yeah, done. Save, let's publish it, right? So similarly, you can, as I showed you, right, you can just create different charts over here, and I can just remove this, okay, and just make sure if whenever you're using this chart control, after making any changes, don't forget to save changes, else it will again revert back to the previous I would say the previous type of content which it had, so the changes won't be reflected, right? So that's about the different types of charts that you can create out of the data which is present within Confluence. And next, see how we can create a, so within this we have something called as Gantt chart, right? So this is something maybe I thought of covering I would say specifically from project management perspective, because like project managers are the ones that they create Gantt charts, and Gantt charts you would have seen is created in a Microsoft project, and you can create Gantt charts over here as well with the data if you have milestone start, end, and completion date, right? So again, let's repeat the same steps. Okay, we add let's add this table chart macro. And there's another way you can add a macro is just forward slash one, and you see, and if you remember, then you just type in the name, you get a macro. Okay, add it. Okay, so don't worry about this, just tips and tricks and maybe overview. I'll just create one more video where I will just give you an overview of the entire Confluence, where some tips and tricks here and there, shortcuts that I'm aware of. Maybe I'll just cover in those videos. And okay, so let's publish now. Great. So it will automatically create by default a pie chart, but we want to create a Gantt. So click on Gantt. Next we have milestone the label. We want milestone on the left. Great. Values, we want start, end. Wow, we see something is coming up now, and we want to see how much we have completed. Okay, and we want to see the percentage listed over here. That's pretty cool. We have achieved something. Let's reduce the size. Okay, let's reduce it a bit more. Okay, and let's adjust the width of it. Great, great. So do you see how easily we have? Okay, maybe it's not looking that great. Let's change the colors at the moment. Maybe it's just the colors task. Okay, if you want, you can make it as gray, and let me keep it as blank. Task done. It is. Let's keep it green. Green is yes, we have done it. To do. Let's keep it as amber, and yeah, amber, and let's save it. Great. Now you might be wondering these grid lines. I want to get rid of these grid lines. It's not looking good at all. Okay, so we can remove those as well. Go to edit mode, edit this macro, and we go here, right? Show grid. Let's remove it and move this towards the left hand side. Select colors, schemes, and you can hide your chart controls that we see on the right, these ones. You can hide the source table if you don't want to show in the source table and just want to show your Gantt chart. And then you have chart title. This is a Gantt chart. You can add a row axis label. So row axis label over here is date and row axis label. Okay, and then we have okay, this is date, and this is milestones. I hope I've entered it correctly. Let's preview it. Okay, yeah, great, great. Okay, so let's save and let's publish. So it's loading now. Oh, great. That's how it looks like. And you see, if you scroll towards it, yeah, it also applies. When you click on this, it shows data and it also applies a filter. And just to select colors, and if you don't want this white, you want something gray, we can do that. This one where you have a box and it's showing the progress that you have made on it, right? And the beauty is you don't have to create this again and again. When as soon as you update the percentage completion, maybe this is 80%, this is 0%, let's make it as 20. Okay, I say I will update this as 30 and make this as 90. So as soon as the project progresses, we update the percentage completion. And now when you see this page, it's reflecting, the green bar is increasing. This is the leftover part of it, right? So isn't that pretty good? This is so what I showed you today is how do we use this table macro, how we have applied filters, and then we to be creating pivot tables to visualize the data, right? To see, summarize and see what's the meaning of the data. And then we covered about how we can create different beautiful charts out of the table that is present, the data that we have in a tabular form, right? A 3D view of the data. And then for specifically for the project management perspective, how we can create Gantt charts out of I would say the project plan, which has milestones, start date, end date, and percentage completion using this chart controls, right? So I hope today's session was, though it was lengthy compared to the previous ones, but I hope it was quite useful video. And if you liked my session, like my, I would say like my channel, please do subscribe and do share your feedback. And if there's something that you would like me to cover as part of Confluence lessons, do kindly leave your comment so that I can just create something to address your queries. right? So thank you so much for watching my video and wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.